Pois é, galera, após a vitória aí da seleção brasileira, vencendo o Senegal por 2-0, tivemos aí, né, algumas mídias reagindo, né? E a gente vai trazer aqui para vocês, em especial, a mídia argentina. Após essa vitória do Brasil, o Brasil começa a se reencontrar, começa a mostrar um futebol aí melhor, próximo da Copa do Mundo. Isso é bom para o Brasil. Por outro lado, outras seleções ficam preocupadas com o Brasil, né? Que sabe que o Brasil é a maior seleção do mundo, todo mundo tem medo, independente do momento do Brasil, né? Tava mal, agora tá melhorando, já começa a assustar. Vamos ver primeiro a mídia argentina, depois teremos a mídia inglesa também falando nesse momento da seleção brasileira. Os vídeos estarão legendados, então assista até o fim para você não perder nada aí nesse momento.
This is what he's had to say about Carlo Ancelotti's impact with Brazil, the Brazil, obviously, national team manager. He said he's giving us confidence, making everyone feel comfortable, taking advantage of each player's best characteristics in their positions. He gives us peace of mind, making the work easier, and everyone enjoys it. Now, Shaka, some people have speculated that this is an indirect message, or maybe a direct message,
I was about to say,
to Xabi Alonso.
I think without question, given what we've heard from Vinicius Jr. since the start of the season, given his unhappiness, which we've discussed, and given his success with Carlo Ancelotti at the helm of Real Madrid, his importance to that success, this is very thinly veiled, and that's put as nice as I possibly can. And you understand, and you sympathise. Again, given the success with Ancelotti, given his frustration so far this year, he's not shy to make those feelings known.
But Ali, hasn't he just been asked about his former Real Madrid coach, Carlo Ancelotti, and his current Brazil coach, Carlo Ancelotti? You know, he won a lot of things with this coach. Wouldn't he say something like this about Ancelotti?
Well, yes, but I think we may have missed something in the graphic, because I'm pretty sure that right above the start of the quote, it should have said, "Dear Xavi, comma," and then all of it. Look, it is true about Carlo Ancelotti, but it is a message. It absolutely is a message. You don't have to read between the lines. It's right there, and it's telling you exactly like, hey, this guy gives me freedom. This other guy over here, he's taking all the freedom. He's taking all the joy. He's sucking the joy out of life. In fact, I don't want to be around him. I know, by the way, he dares to take me off the field. How dare he? Absolutely, there's a message here that is still very carefully crafted, I would say, and I would suggest, in that I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I'm merely talking about Carlo Ancelotti. But let me just say, again, we're missing a part that says, "Dear Xavi, comma."
Yeah, missing Xabi's name out again. We've already seen that this season. Now, Mbappe's done so much for Real Madrid since he's arrived, Jules, and so much particularly this season. Could he also play the role of peacemaker here between Xabi and Vinny?
I guess, I don't think that's his role, but I guess he could do it. Of course, anybody could do it. I think you probably look more at Valverde and those kind of characters who've been there a long time, who know the house and the institution that Real Madrid is, really. But do they need a peacemaker for? It's just, I think it's very simple. Again, we go back to change of managers. When somebody arrives with different ideas, different philosophies, different methodologies, like we said earlier, you had a manager in Carlo Ancelotti that was the opposite of being rigid, right? Tactically, especially. Do what you want. Let's play the way you want. It's cool. I'm just going to manage egos and be your friend and dance when we win the Champions League together and smoke my cigar on the bus parade. And this is cool. I'm the coolest guy in the world. Perfect. And then you get Xabi Alonso, the complete opposite. Rigidity, structure, discipline, being strict. This is what we do. This is when the ball is there. This is what we do. When the ball is doing that, this is what we do. This is not what Carlo Ancelotti used to do. And when you used to Carlo Ancelotti, and when you're Vinicius Jr., who feels like to be happy on the pitch, he needs to have the freedom, not the rigidity, then it's a massive change and a big difference. And I'm just not sure Vinny is a guy that can express his potential and be fulfilled in a very structured environment. And that's the problem here. So then what do? I don't think it's about kind of making peace between Xabi and Vinny. It's just, can he play in a structured team like the Xabi Alonso's teams are? Yes or no? If it's yes, great. You can do a great job together. If it's no, just find another club. You still haven't extended your contract.
Jules just mentioned Fede Valverde as potentially a peacemaker. And I can see this conversation happening. Vinny going to Fede Valverde and say, Fede, you got to help me out with this guy, man. I don't know what else to do. And Fede Valverde turns to Vinny and says, bro, I got my own issues. He's got me playing right back. I don't want to be over there. I got my own issues. Let me sort myself out, then we'll talk about your situation.
Yeah, worry about yourself.
To a question, okay, I can't see anybody in that dressing room have any kind of calming effect on Vinicius Jr. And I'll keep going back to it. When Vinicius Jr. was at his absolute best, when Real Madrid was winning Champions League a couple of years ago, and he was unquestionably the star player, Real Madrid put him on a pedestal that no one could take him off of. Now that Kylian Mbappe has come in and he's now the star player, he's the last person that Vinicius Jr. is going to be listening to at this point. So I think this is an issue of Real's own making, and I'm not sure that there's anybody who, outside of Carlo Ancelotti, who can fix it.
So are you suggesting that a big-time player that gets pushed off the pedestal by a new incoming player who's a bigger name and a bigger brand and a bigger presence, that hurts some feelings?
Well, much like Vinicius' statement, it's pretty easy to read between those lines.
All right, okay.
Let's see what Jules has got to tell us about the injury to Gabriel here. Is it serious?
We don't know much yet. It's a bit early. The question was asked to Carlo Ancelotti after the game. He said he felt something in his groin on the right hand side. We saw that on the footage anyway. I guess if you're Mikel Arteta right now and any Arsenal fan around the world, you're just hoping that it is by precaution that Gabriel came off, that he would not be too serious, because in a week time they obviously play the North London derby against Tottenham, and after that they will have Bayern Munich at home in the Champions League, and then they go away at Chelsea the following weekend. So there's loads of massive games coming up for Arsenal, and the last thing you want is to lose Gabriel before those games. So I think the scans probably booked for tomorrow, I believe. At least it's good he's in London right now, because the game was at the Emirates. They've been training at the Arsenal training ground pretty much all week for this game against Senegal. So he's in familiar territory, if you want, which is a very good thing, even to be assessed by his own doctors, unlike other players who might be with the national team far away from where the clubs are. So that's the positive thing. But for now, we don't know too much about it. Carlo Ancelotti didn't seem too worried, I guess. But again, I don't think he knew too much about it either.
Pois é, galera, esse foi o vídeo aí, né? Vocês viram aí a mídia argentina falando sobre a vitória do Brasil, assim também como vocês viram a mídia inglesa falando também, né, do Brasil. Tá melhorando, né? Tá apresentando um futebol melhor. Eu acredito que foi uma boa decisão trazer o Carlo Ancelotti, né? Ele estava se acostumando ainda, ele teve que se adaptar a algumas questões. Mas é um cara diferente, né? É um cara que ele consegue ver aquilo que treinadores comuns não conseguem ver, né? E ele conseguiu renascer alguns jogadores que a gente achava até que não estava mais, né? Que não teria mais oportunidades, como o Casemiro, que está jogando muita bola, né? Ele consegue, né, fazer o Vini jogar melhor na seleção brasileira. Não tá aquele Vini ainda do Real Madrid, né? Mas pro que ele era, ele melhorou muito com o Carlo Ancelotti, isso é fato. Então, eu acho que isso é muito positivo, né? Acho que para poder vencer a Copa do Mundo vai precisar de mais, de fato, mas a gente pode esperar que o Brasil daqui até lá melhore, né? Vai ter mais alguns jogos ainda, né, de data FIFA, se eu não me engano, vai ter um amistoso contra a França, duelo, confronto direto aí, muito bom a gente ver, né, esse duelo. E na Copa do Mundo vai lidar com tudo que é time, né? Se quiser vencer, aí pode pegar uma Espanha, quem sabe, pode pegar uma Inglaterra, pode pegar, né, alguma seleção assim mais cascuda. Mas o Brasil está indo para um caminho muito legal, muito bacana. Acho muito bom ver esse desenvolvimento da seleção brasileira e o Ancelotti conseguindo trazer aquilo que a gente espera da seleção, né, jogando bom futebol e conseguindo, né, vencer seleções que em outro momento talvez o Brasil perdesse, né, ou até empatasse, certo? Esse foi o vídeo, tamo junto, até o próximo.